Hey guys, firstly, thanks a lot for coming here and start watching this video. I hope that you are doing well amid this COVID situation. Now, let's come on today's topic. A lot of my viewers requested for explaining what is product backlog, what is sprint backlog, and what's the kind of connection between them and what is the difference between them. So, this video is all about product backlog and sprint backlog. So, let's try to understand from product backlog first. Product backlog is basically everything that you need in a product that you put in the form of requirements in product backlog. It is the single source of truth for all the needs of my product. There should be no other place like Excels or emails or anything blah blah blah. There should be no other place from where we need to check what are the needs of my product. So product backlog should be the single source of truth for all the requirements that I have for my product. Now the question comes, who manages product backlog? It is the accountability of product owner to manage the product backlog, to put all the requirement that a product owner gathers from various sources. It could be various stakeholders, customers, again it could be internal people of the organization, external people, from whatever sources the product owner gets the requirement, he puts it in the product backlog. Sometimes he delegates it to someone in the development team to do this job, but the ultimate accountability is of the product owner to manage the product backlog. And there is no a particular time for which the product backlog will be there. As long as the product will be there, the product backlog will be there. So starting from the scratch, the point from where you start building a new product, you start gathering requirements about that product. Starting from there till the product lives. So even after the product gets released to the market, then we get feedback from customers, we put new requirements in the product backlog, we keep on doing enhancements. So as long as the product will be there in the market, the product backlog will be there. So its life is equal to the life of the product. So this is the overall high level idea of product backlog. Now what is a sprint backlog? Sprint backlog is something that a scrum team, basically the developers of the scrum team, they pull in the work in every sprint from the product backlog basis upon the sprint goal, and they create a sprint backlog. So the duration of the sprint backlog is equal to the duration of the sprint. For example, if I have 2 weeks of sprint in my organization, then every sprint I'll create a new sprint backlog. So what I'll do, whatever is the sprint goal decided after collaboration between product owner and developers, basis upon that, developers start pulling in the work items from the product backlog. So and then they create a sprint backlog. Generally the common practice is that we have in the product backlog, generally the lowest level of the requirement is user story. So in a sprint backlog we pull a lot of user stories depending upon what is my sprint goal, and then what I'll do, I'll break that story down into multiple tasks. So that is the responsibility of developers. So again, managing sprint backlog is the responsibility of developers, whereas managing product backlog is the accountability of product owner. So this is one difference. And sprint backlog is of very short duration. It is basically the plan that how you will achieve the sprint goal. So according to sprint goal, you pull all the work from the product backlog and put it in sprint backlog. So it is you can say it is a subset, a very small subset of product backlog. And the commitment for sprint backlog is sprint goal, whereas the commitment for product backlog is the high level product goal. This is another significant difference. And I have told you about who manages and what's the duration of these two. Now let's try to understand from some examples. Firstly, you need to understand the commonly used hierarchy of requirements in industry. So generally, it will be easy for you to remember this. You can remember it through an acronym TUFE, TUFE. So if we start from the last, which is E, so E is for epic. Epic is generally a very big, vague kind of, idea about the work, a very, very vague, very high level requirement. So, for example, suppose I need to enable loans in my online banking application. So this is an epic. It's a whole lot of work and a very high level of idea. I just know that I need to enable loans feature in my online banking application. The my online banking application should be able to get loans application and disperse loans. So all the loan related management should be done in my online banking application. It is an epic. Now what a product owner does is that through multiple meetings, collaboration with various stakeholders, customers, he tries to understand more about the need of the ask, and then he divides the epic into multiple features, right? For example, in loan, there could be one feature for granting personal loans. There could be one feature for home loans. There could be one feature for corporate loans. So for each different type of loans that we have, there could be multiple features, right? Okay, now he has got a better idea about the work, that okay, I need to enable loans in my banking application. These will be the high level set of features that I'll be having. Then he further drills down each of the feature into user stories. So E was for epic, F is for feature, and U is for user story. So each of the feature will be divided into multiple user stories. For example, for home loan, there will be a feature for submitting online application for the home loan. There will be a feature, sorry, there will be a user story for submitting online application form for the home loan. There will be one user story where the customer will be shown like what is the eligible limit. So there could be some intelligence in the tool, and basis upon that, it will show you that this is the pre-approved loan we can offer you. So this could be another user story. There will be one user story for auto approvals. There would be one user story for if this amount exceeds the auto approval amount, then it will go for manual review. There will be one user story for sending notifications, emails to the customer. There could be one user story for online scanning of the documents, and things like that. There could be multiple user stories. So basically, a user story is the lowest level of detail in the project backlog. So it is nothing in a very simple meaning. It is the story told by the user. So as a user, as a customer of the product, what I actually want and what value this will give me. So this is the user story. For example, as a user, I want I want a feature in my product, such that it shows me an auto approved amount of loan that I can get, and I can apply for it immediately and get the loan, so that it saves my time. So the value here is that it will save customers time. It will be very easy, it will be a kind of single button kind of thing, through which she can get the loan. So this is one of the requirement of the customer. So this is nothing but a user story. Now, after doing all this exercise, product owner creates multiple user stories in the product backlog. So it is product backlog. Now you must be understanding, it is the entire wish list. I want this, I want this, I want that, I want that. The entire wish list of the users of the product, that is the product backlog. Now the product owner, what he does is that he prioritizes this wish list, that what is the first priority. Obviously it will depend upon multiple factors, like what is the thing for which there is high demand in the market. I'll put that requirement on the top. What are the requirements for which my customer base is very huge? There will be large number of customers who will be using it. I'll again put that on the top. So and there could be certain other factors, cost, technical feasibility, and multiple other things. So product owner will ultimately prioritizes these requirements. And now when the sprint will be planned, the product owner will explain that, hey, in this sprint, let's keep the goal that we will enable home loans disbursement to the customer. So related to home loans, what all stories will be there, the team will try to pull them in. Now what the team will do after pulling all the user stories in the sprint backlog, and this is the point where sprint backlog gets created. And when it does gets created, it is in the sprint planning meeting. So sprint planning meeting has two outcomes: sprint goal and sprint backlog. So it gets created in the sprint planning meeting. Now the team will pull all the user stories which are related to this goal and put them in a sprint backlog. Then what they'll do, they'll try to divide these user stories into further, small granule, at a very granular level. So small chunks of work. This is something that they call as task. So T here is for task. So E was for epic, F was for feature, U for user story, and T for task. So tough is the hierarchy. So now they divide it into small tasks and they start doing their work. Generally tasks are it is advisable that don't create tasks which are more than 1 day long. So they're small, which can be completed in hours or at max in a day. Whereas a user story, that might take multiple days to get completed. A user story could take 5 days, 7 days. So, and in a sprint there could be multiple user stories. Feature is something which may take one or more sprints to get completed, and epic is something which can take months to get completed. So this is the hierarchy of requirements. And now you must have understood what is the difference between product backlog and what is the difference between sprint backlog. If you have any questions, please do let me know in the comments. If you want to have more examples or anything, if there is any doubt, then please do let me know. My only ask from you is that if you have any questions, if there are any topics on which you need to build more understanding, it could be anything related to Agile, Scrum, Kanban, then just let me know in the comment box. I'll try to help you, to the to best of my knowledge, basis upon my experience. Again, thanks a lot for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. I'll soon come up with another topic. Thank you. Bye bye.